Okay, so on the channel recently I've been talking a lot about impact. Impact fundamentally is all you need to really know as a golfer, is how you're supposed to deliver that club. Everything else in the golf swing is sort of surplus to that, if that makes sense. And I think golfers, you need to reframe and make sure that you understand that. I tend to see a lot of golfers that have quite a poor impact position, poor alignment, and they spend a lot of time working on the backswing. And I just personally wouldn't go about it that way myself, but I suppose there are different options. The point of this video is that I stumbled across a really simple sort of explanation of one of my sort of favourite people to watch and videos to watch is a guy called Moe Norman. I really liked Moe Norman. I liked his descriptions of the golf swing, and I like what he talks about with the trail shoulder dropping down. I like the fact that he kind of talks a lot about how to hit the golf ball, feel like you're hitting it really through the ball. And that's just generally speaking what I feel in my golf swing. And that's what I tend to relate to my students. Now, one of the drills that he used to talk about was positioning 2 T-pegs in the ground like so. I would say about 6 to 8 inches behind the golf ball. So we've got 2 golf balls down like this. And the objective is that you basically want to make sure that the club face is still square at that point in time. I think this is really a big thing for amateur golfers, because impact is really complicated. And I've been talking about it a lot recently on the channel, but if we sort of just talk about what the sequence of events would be, you would kind of come in towards this downswing. Obviously, your body would be kind of rotating out of the way. By the time the club shaft is roughly parallel, your hands want to be located over the ball. So your hands should continue to move towards the target until they get to about the position of the lead ankle. Now, as my hands are moving in this manner, what will be happening is there'll be a natural amount of uncocking motion. So this kind of uncocking motion here will be happening very naturally. By the time we get to roughly this point in time now, when my hands are located over my lead ankle, the club head would have uncocked naturally to be in a position over my right foot. And then what happens from here is there's going to be an element of rotation of the lead arm that brings the club around. But also what needs to happen is we don't want it kind of to be this way. Your hands have to keep moving through a little bit more. And if you can get your hands moving through, you can kind of get this feeling of keeping that club face square and almost feel like the club face is traveling in a straight line for longer. And that's a big sort of feeling if you can get in the golf swing. And this is kind of things that are kind of known as flat spots in the swing. And if you can get a real consistent bottom part in this impact area, then obviously you're going to notice a huge amount of consistency. And what I think is interesting is, you know, Moe Norman was obviously doing his golf well before all the science and everything else, but he was known for incredible accuracy. And it's no coincidence that these are the sort of drills and feelings that he uncovered himself and was obviously teaching other golfers to do, because he understood the importance of coming in towards this downswing, getting this shoulder dropping down, getting those hands going forward, but trying to get this feeling of keeping that club face as square as you possibly can. And this is why on the channel I sort of talk a lot about moving the golf ball further forward. Move the ball, you know, further forward of your lead ankle and try and find a way to get to that back of that golf ball, because what it will do is it will just promote the good solid movements. And that's what I'd encourage you guys to do. So you possibly might not do Moe Norman's drill, because obviously with the T-pegs all of a sudden they just get a little bit in the way. But what you can do is you can position, if I get myself set up to this golf ball here, if I position the club head opposite my outside part of my lead foot, and then I now position the club shaft so it's vertical, and then I take hold of the club, that's where you want to be. So if I do that again, but keep the club head in relationship to the target line, like so, and that's the feeling. See how it kind of encourages me to rotate my chest, rotate my pelvis open, because I can't do it otherwise, and it's really a very natural way to get that sort of feeling. Now, I get my students, and I'm working on a few things behind the scene at the moment with my students, and we'll document that as well. But I get all of my students to do drills and exaggerated drills and then just play and try and incorporate those feelings. And that's what I'm saying to you guys. You want to be doing the same thing. You want to be, don't go to the range just hitting golf balls in an ordinary fashion. There's no point. You want to be exaggerating these feelings of getting these hands forward. And then obviously when you play, okay, you won't necessarily do the same thing. And one of the reasons why you won't do the same thing is because what happens in the golf swing is you'll swing faster. So momentum will kind of bring you more back and around. But it's still a big thing. And it's still a really, really important drill that you need to be working on. So work on that. Work on the Moe Norman impact principle, okay, the 2T analogy type thing, or the 2T drill. And if that doesn't work for you, then just kind of put the club like so and get the club shaft vertical. And that's exactly where you want to be in that sort of post-impact position. See you guys again really soon.